Happy Friday, television family. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did. Now we're back here on this Friday. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, 24th day of November, 2023. Quick little programming reminder. If you watch the show on a regular basis, you know on Fridays we promise you a five-star show, five-star television entertainment and information, locally produced here by Solion Broadcasting. We promise you five-star shows on Fridays. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Not going to happen. We're going to give you a four-star show, but I don't think I can get to the five-star level today. Clear skies, 27 degrees, nothing to talk about weather-wise. It's just going to be there. And I'm all by that. Bountiful sunshine, 47 yesterday for gobble, gobble, gobble day. Not quite up to 47 today. In fact, we're not going to get to 47 for the foreseeable future, but nothing but sunshine for the next few days. And then starting basically Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, as we get into next week, we're going to start dealing with some low clouds and fog that will eventually burn off, but we're under the influence of a pretty strong ridge of high pressure that's just going to sit here for quite some time. It's already here. It's been here for a couple of days. So beautiful, bountiful sunshine, but we're going to start dealing, I think, with some stagnant air. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens, and certainly we're going to start seeing some low clouds and fog beginning to develop towards the end of the weekend. All those details are coming up, plus news. Sports, the less we say about the Seahawks, the better. But we will preview the Apple Cup when we get to sports. And normally we do Pause for Pets on Thursdays. We weren't here yesterday. Rosie the dog needs a home. We'll bring you that little feature from our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Two interviews. In the back half of the program, I had a chance to talk to Travis Hornby and Rachel Madsen. Travis, of course, is the general manager of the Pybus Public Market. Rachel handles marketing. It is time to go out and buy local for your gift giving. And now that we're past Thanksgiving, we're into Christmas, so Travis and Rachel will be joining me. And also, this is your last weekend to check out Pride and Prejudice, the funny play that's being performed at the Snowy Owl Theater up in Leavenworth. You're going to see one more time. We get to meet Carolina Marcus, who played two of the lead roles. A great interview there. Jefferson Robbins, our very own news director, saw Pride and Prejudice last weekend. He said it's really good, but you only have 4 more shows left. They'll be doing it tonight, 2 shows on Saturday, and an afternoon show on Sunday. All right, let's go, folks. Let's begin our tour around the valley. We're not up to sunrise yet. Sunrise isn't until 7:18 this morning. Sunset tonight, are you ready for this? 4:17? That's right, 8 hours and 59 minutes of daylight. We are now under the 9-hour mark for daylight. But again, the sun's not officially up yet, but it's enough ambient light for us to check it out. Billy Goat, US of A, gorgeous view there. Hello. Pateros, Bridgeport, Brewster, Omak, Orville, Okanagan, Riverside, Tenasket, it's all there. Omi Gardens camera looking good as that sunshine begins to climb up over the hill. Very light traffic, by the way, today, even though it is Black Friday, and people still do the Black Friday thing, just not as much as they used to. Hello, Kashmir. Stein Hill on the far right-hand corner of your screen. You can see the enchantments have a little snow up there. Mission Ridge always hopes to open on Thanksgiving weekend. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Just letting you know if you're into skiing and snowboarding, and more power to you. No skiing or snowboarding yet. They're going to make a decision a little bit later on today. Maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. I don't know. Right now it looks kind of 50-50. Go to Mission Ridge's website to check that out. From the National Weather Service, here's what we're looking at. Again, it's just real quiet. There's a big ridge of high pressure. It's sitting there. Clear skies means pretty chilly overnight lows. Our normal overnight low this time of the year is 30. We're going to be well below that throughout the forecast period. And again, it's not going to start overnight tonight into Saturday, but it could happen Sunday morning. Some patchy freezing fog in the early morning hours, and it burns off. Outside of that, this is the pattern that we're going to be dealing with. And with that high pressure ridge trapping all the pollutants in the air, I would not be surprised at all if by, say, Monday or Tuesday, we have an air quality alert, because there's no place for the pollutants to go. It hits the top of the dome, comes right back down again. It's a possibility. We're a little too far out to really get that out. So again, patchy freezing fog in the morning hours, burning off by 9:30 or 10ish, and then bountiful sunshine. Pretty nice weather, pretty boring weather. I'm all for that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your headlines on this day after Thanksgiving. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local, because we're just like you. members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
It's the music that revolutionized the sound of Christmas. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. Celebrating the holiday spirit for over 35 years. Don't miss this holiday extravaganza. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. America's favorite Christmas tradition.
Beautiful sunrise this morning. It's happening as we speak. It's 27 degrees. We'll be mid-40s, a couple of degrees cooler than it was on Thanksgiving, but sunshine for everybody right through the forecast period. That's throughout our viewing area. But again, starting over the weekend, you could see some patchy freezing fog pretty close to the valley floor before it burns off in the morning hours. It's 6 minutes after the hour. It was a busy Wednesday evening for the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department. Some pretty dramatic footage we were able to capture from our PTZ camera. You probably heard about this by now, that big warehouse fire at 821 South Columbia Street. Well, they got there, crews encountering poor visibility in the interior of the building, as well as smoke from the roof and smoke from the back of the building. In fact, you can see it there on your screen. Because the building is pretty big and it was pretty old, they called in additional alarms. In fact, 3 alarms eventually were rung out, so firefighters from throughout our viewing area responded to this fire. Fire crews were able to get all the smoke and hot gases. They blew it out of the interior, and that actually saved the building and greatly reduced the damage to the building. There are a number of businesses that share occupancies in that building. No injuries that we know of. The cause of that fire, as you might imagine, is under investigation. And speaking of the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department, they are new landlords. They're expanding their footprint, and they needed to do that. They closed deals on 2 parcels of rural property in southern Chelan County because they want to build 2 new fire stations. And Department Chief Brian Brett, he told us that there's no construction scheduled at the present time, but there'll be new bases in the Stemilt Basin and the Wenatchee Heights area, and that would allow better fire protection in areas where more people are making homes.
We've been working with the Matheson family on acquiring this parcel for a couple of years. They're very proactive in trying to benefit the Stemilt Basin area, wonderful neighbors for the community, and they identified a parcel in working with us that's strategic in location. It's by the 4 corners, which is the church, Blair Slack Road, Stemilt Loop Road, Stemilt Hill Road, and that will tie in nicely with our Malaga fire station. And in addition to just having acquired this parcel, the Berdan family donated a parcel to us on the Wenatchee Heights side, just above the Squilchuck station. So that's going to give us wonderful coverage across the Wenatchee Heights, Stemilt Basin to Malaga, and looking towards the Clockham. We do not have a time frame on it yet. One of the caveats is we need at least 6 volunteers to be present to get credit from the Washington Survey and Rating Bureau for insurance purposes. But aside from insurance purposes, we need staffing for those fire stations to make them valuable. As you know, we had that fire last week up on the Wenatchee Heights, extended response time. It's one of the few structures, well, it was probably the first structure we've lost in a few years. Just the lengthy response times are counterproductive for us in suppression.
And finally, on this Friday, the $134 million Confluence Bypass project is, of course, being green-lighted. It's going to happen. They're going to put a second bridge across the Wenatchee River. And the new bridge would be part of a traffic bypass that'll start at the intersection of North Miller Street and North Wenatchee Avenue. And that is where both Denny's and the Igloo are currently located. And those 2 businesses are at risk of either being relocated or demolished. Well, we caught up with the businessmen of those 2 establishments, the Igloo and Denny's, to see how they are faring with the uncertainty of the future of their properties.
One of my customers that came in one day and said, I heard that they're tearing down your restaurant. I said, well, that's news to us. I said, we know nothing about it. So I had made contact with the city, went to one of the city council meetings and found out that they were starting their legwork to preserve the history of Denny's since it's such an iconic building. It was built in 1966. So it's on a historical register. So they have to do a bunch of legwork in order to make it to where they can, if they decide to, tear it down. Problem is, there's no communication from the city. That was the last time I heard from the city, was at the city council meeting, only because I went to the council meeting. City just needs to do a better job communicating with its business leaders. We've been around this valley for 40 years. I've employed people that were babies that grew into adults that had kids and hired their kids. You know, so I mean, we've been around here a long time. We were locally owned until almost 5 years ago. We had a local owner that owned us and operated the restaurant. The restaurant business is tough. If I have to close this business to build a new restaurant, I will lose my team. And I have employees that have been with me for 25 years or longer. You know, and it's like they can't live without a paycheck. And this is the problem that we're having with the city, is that they're not negotiating, in my opinion, in good faith. Because if they were, they would keep us abreast of what's going on. Denny's plans on going nowhere. We plan on building. We love this valley. We've been around. I'm not retiring anytime soon. I've still got a few more good years in me. So we're going to build new. It'll be bigger, it'll be better, but it won't be this.
We've actually gone to meetings on this for a number of years. The first indication of it, I don't remember. It's quite a number of years ago. The customers have said stuff about it also. The business is very much a part of the Wenatchee. It's pretty much a landmark. It's been here for the whole life of some of our customers. If the building were to be torn down, people would miss it. We've been impacted before by a highway project. Out front used to be a parking lot. Somewhere between 1967 and 1972, the highway came closer by a substantial amount. It eliminated our front parking lot. The city has not made any offers yet. There's been no negotiation of any sort. The only comment when I talked to somebody down at the city one time was they said that the land acquisition in this whole intersection is going to be substantial. My preference isn't to demolish, but I've got my wife and my son that are in the mix also, and they'd like to see us just gone. No relocation. The business would not be the same if we were be relocated. I hope that we stay here. The uncertainty is the hardest part of this. We know something may be coming, but we don't know what. I'm of retirement age, but I'm still working to see what happens.
The kind of project we're doing where it's design build, we're just designing the road. All we've got is sort of like a pencil on a map, right? And we think it's going to look like this, so we think it's going to go here. We know how much money we have. We're not sure how far that's going to go. And so, yeah, you know, obviously there's, you know, McDougal is in a spot where it's pretty much, we're convinced that that's where portion of the road's going to go out in Old Station. On the sort of the Denny's side and some of that, there's some question as to how much money we're going to have. Are we going to be able to get everything we want in that area? So, you know, we've had some communication with them that says, yeah, it's a maybe. We're still designing. The problem we have is once we get as far along as we are now, it becomes a federal process. This is a federalized project. So when it's a federalized project, there's a federal process that we have to go through, which means we hire an appraiser. We have the entity, and this is, use Denny's as an example, we will pay for them to hire an appraiser, and the federal government comes in with negotiators and they figure out what the right thing is, right? It's not a city function, so to speak, right? It's somebody else does it. And so we're sort of out of it, right? Other than do we have enough in the budget to do it? The timing, you know, I think sometime next year we'll know, as we're starting to get some ideas and we've got our contractors on board, we're starting to figure stuff out. So I would love it if we could keep the ones that want to be kept. So we'll just have to see how it works.
Quick little shop talk, if you don't mind. Tomorrow, our very own Eric Granstrom will be live at Hooked on Toys on North Wenatchee Avenue to kick off the Community Toy Drive. The NCW Toy Drive is presented by our friends at Les Schwab. He's going to be there broadcasting live from 10 to about 11. Again, this will be at Hooked on Toys tomorrow to kick off the NCW Community Toy Drive. So if you want to meet a real live local celebrity, one might show up, and if one doesn't, you got Eric. He's a cool guy, so check it out. And a special newscast tonight. You just saw a little snippet of Jefferson Robbins and his interview with Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz. Full disclosure, my brother as well. And that will be the feature for tonight's special edition of the NCW Life Evening News. Jefferson Robbins and his interview with Mayor Frank Kuntz will air rather lengthy interviews tonight on the news at 5, 6, and 10. And if you have a news tip, get a hold of us. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Don't forget the news is on TV at 5, 6, and 10 and available on our website, ncwlife.com, our YouTube page, and our Facebook page right around 5 o'clock. And when we come back, sports. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Now, am I looking into this camera, or am I looking, where am I looking?
We're gonna have you just look at
The holiday season is coming, and Santa's making his 15-second commercial for NCW Life Channel. Are you?
Tune in Monday through Friday at 5, 6, and 10 for the NCW Life Evening News, or go to our website at ncwlife.com, or you can visit us on Facebook. North Central Washington, the NCW Life Channel has you covered.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom.
And I'm Brent Rhodes with the NCW Community Toy Drive presented by Les Schwab.
Be sure to join us Saturday, November 25th at Hooked on Toys for our Toy Drive kickoff.
I'll be there broadcasting live on Country 104.7 KKRV starting at 9.
And we'll be live on NCW Live Channel from 10 to 11.
Find out more about the organizations that serve children here in North Central Washington.
Help us kick off the Toy Drive this year to make sure everyone has a Merry Christmas.
See you Saturday at Hooked on Toys.
And Happy Holidays.
17 minutes after the hour, the Seattle offense cannot get out of their own way. They can't score, and they didn't last night either. The 49ers got the best of them in Turkey Night football, 31-13. Seahawks have scored just 3 offensive touchdowns in the last 4 games. Geno Smith, not good. He was just 18 of 27 for 180 yards, sacked 6 times, threw an interception. Smith says the offense just needs to work harder.
You know, I still believe in the guys that we have. I still believe in our coaches. I still believe in the players. I think it's been a tough stretch for us, but I believe that things will turn around. And I think what we have to do is continue to work hard, if not work harder. There is no excuse for it. There is no words that I can say that will make it better. But what needs to be done is we need to work harder. We need to find a way. We got a lot of talent. We got a lot of good players on this offense, and we got the right coaches. And so we got to believe, we got to continue to stay consistent in our work, and then we just got to work harder and find a way.
It was 24-3 at half. We did get a pick 6 from Jordan Brooks. Still, it wasn't enough. Pete Carroll reminded the press afterwards, San Francisco is a good team, and it's just one game.
This is a really difficult team to play when you give them stuff and give them the field position opportunities, and we don't make our first downs. And so it'd be hard for everybody against them. And tonight, so we saw what that was like. This is a tough stretch coming up for us. As challenging as it can get, and we got to clean it up. We cannot give our opponents the opportunity to have short fields and expect to get the kind of results we want. So, as always, the ball determines so much of it. The turnovers determine so much of it. And it's like the one for us almost did for us, too. It kind of turns the whole feeling of the game around. So we go back to work. We got to get our stuff done. We got a really challenging game coming up next week, and we don't have any time but to get back to work and do stuff right. And coaches, players, everybody, all of us do. It starts with me.
Christian McCaffrey, by the way, a one-man wrecking crew, scored a couple of touchdowns, basically ran all over the Seattle defense, who apparently also forgot how to tackle. So they played Thursday, and they play next Thursday. As a matter of fact, they'll be in Dallas in Jerry World, that game on Amazon Prime. I hope you have it. It is Pac-12 rivalry week. Tonight it was what they used to call the Civil War. They don't do it anymore. Oregon State visits number 6 Oregon. That's at Fox at 7 o'clock. And then the 115th edition of the Apple Cup. Huskies, Cougars, 1 o'clock, Husky Stadium. Husky coach Kalen DeBoer says he always loves this time of the year.
It's Apple Cup week, so, a fun week for our guys. Great week when it comes to the tradition for our program and, of course, Washington State's program and this game that's happened with a lot of history. So proud of our guys from last weekend and finding a way to get number 11, you know, and get a chance to be in the Pac-12 championship. And we got work to do this week. So it's going to be, you know, it's fun playing on Thanksgiving, you know, whether it's a rivalry week or, you know, when I was a small college coach, it was a playoff week, you know, big playoff weekend. So a lot of special memories. Love playing at this time of the year, celebrating Thanksgiving and all that, but big weekend.
Of course, the Huskies are ranked 4th in the nation. They've already clinched their ticket to the Pac-12 championship game in Las Vegas on December 1st for Jake Dickert, the coach of the Cougars. He says there are a lot of things happening in prep for tomorrow's game.
I guess what you would say storylines around this football game for both sides. And at the end of the day, whether there's a lot on the line or, you know, we're both without any wins, like it's who's going to effectively execute their responsibilities and control the emotions. And we got to go into a really tough environment and steal a win. And it's going to take our guys performing the way they're capable of doing it and playing with an effort and energy level that's going to rival our opponents. So it's going to be a tough matchup to go there and win, and our guys are going to be prepared and ready to do it.
The 115th Apple Cup, they kick off tomorrow at Husky Stadium at 1 o'clock on Fox. There are still 2 schools in our area that are in the playoffs. One of those is Whitworth. They'll play at Wartburg. Apparently that's in Iowa. That's in the second round of the Division III playoffs. It's tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and Central Washington is in Minnesota to take on Memphis. They're taking on those guys. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. for that one. Kraken will try to make it 2 in a row tonight. They creamed the Sharks, by the way, on Wednesday night, in case you missed it. Rolled all over them. 7-1. Vancouver is in town tonight.
One
the
of those
puck is set to drop at 7 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. Wenatchee Wild will try to win their 10th straight home game. In the Wolves' Den tonight, they are 10-1. At the Town Toyota Center, that's good. They've won a whole 9 in a row. Spokane is in town. Austin Trade, my good friend, says the 2 teams set quite a tone in their first meeting last week in Spokane. A crazy game. The Wild won that one 10-6, 8-6.
We've played them once. That's one of those scheduling quirks you run into during the course of the season. There's always going to be one somewhere, and I think Spokane might be that one for us this year. But no, it's Wild Giving presented by Les Schwab. So we got the NCW Community Toy Drive going on. It actually started, I think, on Monday, and we helped kick things off with our end on Tuesday. So just like prior years, bring a toy to the game. Bring a few toys to the game. We'll give you a ticket voucher for all the items you bring in. We'll have the giving tree up to help the less fortunate in our area. So we'll have a chance to start giving back a little bit and hopefully give our fans an entertaining game against a team that gave us a pretty good battle last weekend. That first one set a pretty high bar. We're going to have to two teams here are going to have to work pretty hard to top it, but I think we can do it.
Wenatchee and Spokane, 7 o'clock tonight. For tickets, go to WenatcheeWild.com. And finally, the WIAA playoffs are in the semifinal stage and leave off the field at the Apple Bowl. Going to be a busy place tomorrow. It's the 2B and 1B semifinals. The action begins with undefeated Liberty Bell taking on Nia Bay at 1 o'clock. The Mountain Lions, a team without a league, is trying to repeat as state 1B champions, and that'll be followed by the undefeated Okanagan Bulldogs. They take on Northwest Christian. They're out of Colbert. That's the 2B semifinals. Kickoff for that one is 4 o'clock, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday, the 24th day of November. It's the day after Thanksgiving. A lot of people associate this with Black Friday. It's not as big as it used to be, but Black Friday is Black Friday, and there are a lot of stores, big, small, and otherwise, who want your business today. And of course, tomorrow is Small Business Saturday, which is why today, the day after Thanksgiving, is the anti-holiday called Buy Nothing Day. Don't buy anything. Don't spend anything at all on anything. I guess that would make it an anti-holiday. You can observe this any number of ways you can do that. You can cut up your credit card. There'll be people out there who say, I'll cut your credit card up for free. I wonder if they scan it before they do it. I don't know. But one of the most unique things, and I saw this happen a couple of years ago, in celebration or protest of Buy Nothing Day, whatever it is, a bunch of people will go to a store. They'll push their shopping carts up and down the aisles in long lines, and they don't buy anything. They don't put anything in the shopping cart. They just go up and down the aisles, and then they leave. Maybe that's why there's shopping carts all over town. I don't know. It's Buy Nothing Day. Today, it's 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 106 years ago in Milwaukee, it was on this date in 1917, a large bomb that was wrapped as a package was found by a lady next door to a church. She didn't know it was a bomb. She dragged this big package over to the church. They put it down into the church basement. The janitor looked at it and said, I don't know what it is. So the janitor took the bomb, put it in the back of his horse-drawn carriage, and drove it to the police headquarters of the Milwaukee Police Department. And it sat there in the squad room, and the lieutenant and the shift commander and a bunch of cops were standing around, and it detonated. It blew up. 9 police officers and 1 female civilian were killed. The perpetrator was never found. This was the deadliest single event in U.S. law enforcement history until the September 11th attacks. And the reason so many police officers were killed is that they were in the middle of a shift change. So the guys were going off shift, and the officers who were going on shift happened to be in the police department at the same time in the same room when the bomb went off. A lot of folks, of course, are commemorating the 60th anniversary of the death of JFK on Sunday morning, November 24th, 1960. People were still glued to their television sets. All the networks, of course, have been doing continuous coverage of the assassination. And it was NBC and only NBC among the 3 networks who cut away live to see Lee Harvey Oswald transferred from the Dallas City Jail to the Dallas County Jail on this Sunday morning. And if you were watching NBC Live, this is what you saw.
There is Lee Oswald. He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot. There's the man with a gun. It's absolute panic here in the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. The detectives have their guns drawn. Oswald has been shot. There is no question about it. Oswald has been shot.
Again, only NBC carried it live on national television, but within seconds or minutes, both CBS and ABC had that on the air, the continuing craziness that was that weekend. And 52 years ago today, November 24th, 1971, have you seen this guy? D.B. Cooper, a hijacker calling himself Dan Cooper, a.k.a. D.B. Cooper, parachuted out of the Northwest Orient Airlines somewhere over the Cascade Mountains between Seattle and Portland with $200,000 in ransom money. He has never been found. Now, I think that he died on when he jumped out of the back of the airplane. I just don't think he survived. It was stormy and rainy, and I just don't think he survived the jump. And of course, when he landed in the middle of nowhere, and even if he did survive, he's almost certainly dead, because I figured D.B. Cooper at the time in 1971 was in his mid-40s, so he would be in his mid-90s by now. D.B. Cooper. And birthdays, we always do presidents. They're all heavenly birthdays today. The 12th president of the United States, kind of forgettable or forgotten, Zachary Taylor. It's really not his fault. He didn't live very long after he got the presidency. Zachary Taylor was only the president for about 16 months. He was born in the state in 1784. He's more forgettable than a failed president. He was a national hero because of the Mexican-American War, so he won election to the White House, despite nobody really knew what his political beliefs were. He was the last president ever elected who was neither a Democrat nor a Republican. He became the first president to be elected without having ever been elected to any office before. And in 1991, after a biography of Zachary Taylor came out, they exhumed his body. Yeah, I don't want to get into that. The late, great Tommy Alsop, who, of course, famously lost the coin flip to Ritchie Valens for the 4th and final seat on that ill-fated plane on February 3rd, 1959. Waylon Jennings voluntarily gave up his seat to the Big Bopper, but they did the coin flip, the famous coin flip, backstage in Clear Lake, Iowa. Tommy Alsop lost. Tommy Alsop, by losing the coin flip, saved his life. But when the plane crashed, they found 4 bodies but 5 wallets. Tommy Alsop had given his wallet to Buddy Holly so Buddy Holly could pick up his mail. And for a while there, Tommy Alsop's family thought he had died in the plane crash too. He didn't. The great Tommy Alsop, a great guitarist, by the way. We lost him 5 years ago. And Donald Duck Dunn, one of the greatest bassists of all time, would have been 83 years old today. Duck Dunn was the bassist for Booker T and the MGs, and a whole bunch of people who you probably haven't heard of. Special thanks to, as you briefly saw, Alpine Air. Alpine Air is one of our platinum sponsors here at the NCW Life Channel. We're happy that they are on board with us for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Still to come, I had a great conversation with Travis Hornby and Rachel Madsen from the Pybus Public Market. Go spend your money there, folks. It's where communities meet. Also, one last chance for you to check out Pride and Prejudice at the Snowy Owl Theater. 2 cast members are going to join me as well. That's right, we got 2 interviews today for the post-Thanksgiving rush. But first, Rosie the dog needs a home. It's Pause for Pets.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCW Life Channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
Hi there, my name is Christine. I'm the behavior coordinator here at Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And today I'd like to introduce you to my friend Rosie. She is a 7-year-old Staffordshire Terrier mix, and she was an owner surrender here to us, which means we have a lot of really lovely, good information about what her life was like before she came here. It sounds like she lived with another dog, so she's good with other dogs in the home. We've also introduced her to quite a few dogs here at the shelter, and she has done awesome. She used to have experience with kids as well, and I had a chance to introduce her to a cat, and she did well with that too. So kids, cats, other dogs, all things that she has experience with and does really well with. We found Rosie to just be a really solid, calm, mellow girl. She spends her days here enjoying time outside, going for slow walks around the yard, and enjoying all her enrichment that the staff here provides for her. Rosie's been with us for a few weeks now. At 7 years old, she's a mellow girl. She's really calm and quiet, which makes her an easy addition to pretty much any family, as long as you have a comfy, cozy blanket or bed spot for her to spend her time relaxing on. If you think she's a good fit for you and your family or someone that you know, we are open to the public 11 to 6, Thursday through Tuesdays.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking the gang to the slopes in an available all-wheel drive Pilot, delivering presents in a rugged Passport, or all in a few toys for yourself in a powerful Ridgeline. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, advertisers, let me tell you this. If you start your radio ad with some fast-talking auction-type guy giving the required legal disclaimer at the beginning of the ad instead of at the end, what I hear is we got something to hide. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. A radio ad that starts with, use of this product may cause arthritis, heartburn, and suddenly death, and that goes on the slower voice that tells you how great their product is. Now, I ain't buying it. No how, no way. If you start your ad with some fast-talking guy with the legal disclaimer at the beginning, I don't think so. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant that they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family. What makes Abby's triple topper so great?
Canadian bacon, pepperoni, ground beef.
With these premium toppings piled to the edge, it's a whole lot of pizza on sale for a very special price. Order your triple topper now at abbys.com.
Welcome back to the program. Rachel Madsen is the marketing director here at the Pybus Public Market. Travis Hornby is the general manager, and he also is the. Are you the president of the board? What for the
No,
board?
so I have 2 roles. I'm general manager for Pybus Public Market that we're standing in, and also the foundation director.
Okay, thank you, the director of the foundation, and we'll start with that. The umbrella organization on the footprint that is the Pybus Public Market is a nonprofit organization that Mike and Joanne set up when they decided to make this thing a go. And people need to remember that, and it's important for any number of reasons, Travis.
Oh, many, many reasons. So yes, it's a charitable organization. So donations are tax deductible, and it helps us run operations, helps us benefit all the other nonprofits in our community and meet the mission of Pybus Market.
And the fact that they redid the parking lot on the west side would not have been possible if that wasn't the case. If this wasn't
100%. Right.
Yeah. And boy, that worked out pretty good, didn't it?
It's almost done. We're about 95% complete. We have a little bit of landscaping to do and a little bit of electrical work, and we'll be ready to go this spring.
The clients on both sides of the parking lot are really happy. They were very patient.
Very patient.
Very patient, and they understood the importance of this, but it worked out this is a dream come true having that new parking lot.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
It's more than a parking lot. It's an outdoor community meeting space. So the farmers market meets there. We'll have additional events out there. That we have a safe parking lot. So we're looking forward to expanding more than just a parking lot for our community.
It was a tripping hazard.
Oh, yeah.
The infrastructure was shot to hell. I mean, it was the concrete pad when this was a mill.
Yeah, it was a goal over 10 years ago to do that, but you just have to put money where money needs to be at the time, and there wasn't enough to complete the parking lot at that time.
Full occupancy.
Full occupancy.
I've talked to any number of clients here, and they said that is so important to have every space filled with happy, smiling people, clients and patrons.
This is our first full year of full occupancy. So that's pretty exciting to have.
So are we complete? Is the post-COVID thing just done? Is it like, forget it, it's in its history? Or is there still some residual?
I don't think it's residual as far as people's habits of going out. I think there's still some financial post-COVID stuff, but yeah, as far as behaviors, I think people are out wanting to experience life.
Yeah, they're ready to do things.
And the new clients who have come in the last couple of years, they seem to be real happy too. Yeah. So you got a good combination. You got the cornerstone clients who've been here since day one that we've talked to, and then we have the newer clients who you got to sell them a little bit, but once they're here for a couple of months, they're sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. The local Televent Center has been real busy. Rachel and I were talking while you were off doing your job. The importance of taking what was just a throwaway, gray, monolithic, soulless annex to this building and turning it into a warm, inviting space was a huge game changer, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Life happens in there, like I was telling you. I mean, everyone in the community thinks first, we should check out Pybus and see if we can rent that space. You and I were talking about high school reunions. Sure. We've had weddings. Yesterday we had the Wenatchee Row and Paddle Club. It's just used by everybody.
It's well used. It's very well maintained. It has state-of-the-art everything. You got the big screen televisions, and you have really nice audio-visual setup. Right. People want to have their meetings here, and most important, perhaps your tenants like it when you have meetings here, because people come in, they have a couple of cocktails or 3 or 4. They do their meeting, and then they have something to eat. So it brings people in that respect.
Those events bring more people in and keeps the market vibrant.
Absolutely. As we get into the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, this place will start really getting that vibe about it. You guys will deck this place out like crazy, like you always do. But you got some special stuff coming out. Rachel, you want to handle that as the marketing gal, or
sure,
Travis, the both of you?
We'll share it. I'll take on some of it, and he can take on some of it. Why don't you start with Small Business Saturday?
Small Business Saturday. So one thing that's truly important that is the mission statement of the market is that we only allow small businesses in market. We don't allow franchises or national brands in the market. So these are your neighbors. These are your friends and family. So come down, support those. We are all about Small Business Saturday.
That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Remember. Thank you.
It is.
Yeah, and that will be a very busy day down here. It's Small Business Saturday. Santa's coming.
Santa will be here.
Santa will be here. There will be Santa photos by Parsons. We also have a holiday cookie decorating competition that will be sponsored by the Tap Room in the Event Center. So kids can come down and see Santa, they can decorate cookies, and then at 4:30, our big tree here in the concourse will be lit. So we'll turn the lights off and we'll pick someone to light the tree.
Do a lot of the people who set up market in the middle of this thing on the weekends, are they fighting for table space? Is there any available?
Definitely fighting for table space. And once again, that is I don't think there's any available right now. So unfortunately for those that want to, but for the ones that did get in, it's a great experience. And once again, those are small businesses. I call them fledgling entrepreneurs. They're just starting out. They're not large enough to have a retail space or those kind of things, but this gives them an opportunity to.
And they're passionate about what it is that they're doing. Yeah. They're not like, here, buy this, and get the hell out of the way. They want to talk about what they're offering.
Yes.
And they're knowledgeable.
They are, because they're handcrafted.
Yeah.
Most of it is very handcrafted, and they've put a lot of time into it. In December, we will have what we call the last minute market. And so this place will be flooded with artisans right before Christmas. And so if there's any last minute Christmas shopping that needs to happen and you're looking to buy things locally, you should come down here and check out our artisans.
So it's perfect for you and I, Dan, because we will wait till the last minute.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't put things off, I just procrastinate every once in a while. What else is on the agenda as we work our way through the holiday season?
Well, I should tell you that Santa is also coming back on the 9th.
You have like his cell phone number? How does that work? Wow.
Yeah, he has to visit all the kids. And so he'll be here this Saturday after Thanksgiving, but he'll also be here on December 9th. And he'll be out here on the concourse. When he's here after Thanksgiving, he'll be in the local Event Center. And then our last minute market is December 15th through the 17th. And that is the day. That's the day to come down and shop, bring your family from out of town, drink hot cocoa, get wine, do whatever you need to do.
You'll see Travis desperately on his cell phone. What was I supposed to buy, honey?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Or he'll be following around his wife, and she'll be buying things.
Boy, you married way up, by the way.
Yes, I
For
did.
sure.
Yes, I did.
Get that out of the way.
It's my better 7/8.
Yeah.
I get 1/8 though, Dan. 1/8.
But you have to tell them about the end of the year party.
Okay, so the last thing to wrap up 2023 is we have our New Year's Eve party. Music starts around 7 p.m. The concourse will be open. At 9 p.m. we have a balloon drop for the youth, and so there will be balloons dropping from the giant ceiling.
If you want to celebrate it in Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time, and then they'll take a break on music, and then we'll play music till midnight. There'll be games in the event center, and then we'll have, you can have alcohol inside the concourse, and we'll be selling those at our info booth right behind us.
Steve Robinson, and then Leslie Freitag, and now you're the third guy running this place. You've been here for enough to, your feet are no longer wet. You're not a newbie anymore, buddy. Tell me about, was this what you expected when they offered you the job and you accepted it? Because I, for one, was pretty pumped.
It is almost exactly what I expected. I knew the hours were going to be long, but the involvement with the community and everybody that comes down here, it's fun to be part of that. It's fun to support the nonprofits abroad in our community, and that's what the foundation does. I've been doing that kind of work with Evergreen and Tread, And so it just kind of fit really well with me, as well as the ability to pick up a hammer and go fix something that urgently needs to be done. I have that skill as well, so it fits me pretty well. I'm really enjoying it.
Rachel's working out pretty good?
I love Rachel. She's a great asset to our team, and also expanding the foundation. For 9 years, we have not had foundational support for fundraising, and that's what Rachel is bringing truly to the overall picture in the team. So excited to have her.
One last thing, and then we'll cut you loose. Pybus bucks, and people go, I've kind of heard about that. I forgot what it is. In a nutshell, Travis, what is a Pybus buck?
It's unique, it's special, and I have one right here. They're wooden coins, and this is worth $5. And guess what? It's always worth $5. There's no cash value, but you can use this anywhere on campus. You can use it at the farmer's market, the artisans. This is the best gift card to get in town, because you can use it anywhere at our 14 vendors, the artisans, farmer's market. $5 increments.
And you buy them here at the info booth?
Info booth or at our office.
Okay, simple enough.
Yep.
And let's, I said one more thing. One more thing. People don't get to see the folks in the office. We do when we come in over there. Your staff.
Yeah.
Without your staff, it ain't happening.
They're amazing.
Yeah, my staff is great. Yeah. We have a wonderful team.
Rachel, it's always good to see you.
Thank you.
He's tanned, he's rested, he's feeling pretty good. Put on a few pounds. We love you, Travis. You know
Love you
that.
too, Dan.
It's where communities meet. This is the crown jewel of North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley, Pybus Public Market, and we'll be right back.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Welcome back to the program. We're here on the stage of the Snowy Owl Theater on the campus of the Icicle Center for the Arts in beautiful Leavenworth. Circle your calendar for a really cool performance of an all-time American classic. I think we're all familiar with the plot. Of course, Harold Hill goes to a small Midwestern town and tries to con them into buying band uniforms and stuff like that, and then he falls in love with Marion the librarian. Of course, I'm talking about Fiddler on the Roof. And no, I'm sorry, it's Pride and Prejudice. The all-time classic. Introduce yourself to our television family, if you don't mind. You go first. Ladies first.
Sure. I'm Caroline Rensel, and I play Lizzie Bennett.
And my name is Marcus Wolf. I play Mr. Bingley and Mary Bennett.
You look familiar to me. You've done some stuff in town, right, in Wenatchee? Is that right?
Oh, I had a very small role in the chorus of Shrek the Musical.
Well, see, that's what
spring.
I remember.
Yeah.
The critics loved you.
Yes.
The critics loved you. You guys are in this play. You're in this show, pretty much a lot of it. You're the leads. You get to do a lot of great work. The story, do you like it? Or were you familiar with it at all before you started tackling these roles? Did you know about it?
Yes, I am a big Jane Austen fan. So I've read all the books. I think I read the first one, I read Emma at about age 11. So I love this story. So yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I'm just starting to get into Jane Austen. This Pride and Prejudice, this rendition of it has kind of been my first experience into Jane Austen. I'm much more of a Tolkien guy personally, but kind of looking at this and watching the movie and understanding the story and everything, it's really opened my eyes into a different author and new points of.
But the treatment is different from.
Yes.
It's not faithful to the book to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, it's funnier. That's hard to say. Jane Austen's very funny, but it's a highly condensed version, obviously, to take a whole book and cram it into 90 minutes on stage. And I'd say it takes the best part of each character and just condenses it and makes that even more alive, which is really delightful to play with as an actor. The basic storyline is the same. We lose a couple characters and we lose a couple scenes in the book, but that's okay. I don't think you miss them.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like you said, it's like it's impossible to take a book at that length and that complexity
Yes.
and condense it into a 90-minute play.
Yeah. Well, and the beauty of it too is, does it condense? Yes, but it still keeps the theme and the tone and the vibrancy. It's a comedic rendition. It's not necessarily a spoof. So there's multiple ways where typically Pride and Prejudice is more of a contemporary, more dramatic showcase, but this one has many moments that an audience is kind of taken aback and really, laughs at, but it still keeps the vibrancy of what Jane Austen, what her intentions were into this.
And it somewhat contemporizes, say, the language and a few things like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Because some people would get totally lost if you use the traditional sentence structure that she did.
Oh,
in that respect.
Yeah, but the explanation that the characters have to kind of bring the audience in, it really brings audiences that are new and old to the story.
Do you like your character, or do you even have to like your character to do a good job performing them?
Ooh, good question. I don't think you have to like your character. This is just in general as an actor. Otherwise, we wouldn't play great villains on the stage or screen. I love my character. Years ago, applying for college, a prompt for a college essay was, what fictional character would you like to have dinner with? And I definitely wrote about Elizabeth Bennet, so it's a real treat to get to spend time with her. She's flawed, as are we all, but she's good fun.
Yes. And with my characters, I love understanding more than just loving or not liking them, more understanding where they're coming from and where they're at in that moment in life and looking at that picture. So with Mr. Bingley, he's very much this golden retriever type of a character. He's going everywhere, appreciating life, looking around him all the time. But then you have someone like Mary Bennet, who is very much wants to be a part of that world, but is always rejected from it. And so it's always a looking inward of where are moments, not necessarily, putting my life experience into that character, but where do I connect with that person in a way where once that character is brought out to that audience, there's this multidimensional understanding to where an audience goes, I might not be in that similar experience or never had that, but I can be there with that person.
It's kind of an interesting cast. We got some locals, and we got some folks coming over from the west side. So there's a lot of rehearsals with different people coming in and going at different times. Is that challenging for the continuity and for the director?
I think
when you have that going on?
It's different. Like if you have everybody in the same place and all the luxury of tons of rehearsal time, which we don't, partially because of that, half the cast is coming over from Western Washington. But I think it's not a bad thing. It's making us flexible because we're practicing scenes out of order. So it's like we're doing the end of the show today because that's who we have in town today, and we're doing the beginning of the show tomorrow. But now we are going into tech, so it's all starting to line up in order, and that's really, really great.
Talk about your director. You want to give him some kudos, or you want to throw eggs at him? It's up to you.
We're gonna throw so many eggs at him right now. No. Phil is an incredible collaborator to work with. I mean, he's very soft-spoken, but also he wants to take opinion into account, which works so well in theater and in collaboration. He has a set idea and what he wants in the tone, in the theme, and where all the characters go, and he understands the character too. You can very much tell while you're in the space that he's really taken the time to understand motivation, understand just the story as a whole, and where it connects to Jane Austen, where it connects with Kate Hamill, the writer of this one. And it's wonderful to collaborate and share opinions and work together.
So you're hitting your marks and you're saying your lines, but you're having a chance to kind of personalize the character in the way that you want it to be.
Definitely. Absolutely. And I mean, Phil has a vision. Our directing team, Phil Lacey and Mackenzie Baird, are lovely and thoughtful and just wonderful to work with.
You're saying that because Mackenzie's sitting about 30 feet away
from us. I might be saying that.
Right?
No, I would genuinely say that. This
I'm going to take a step back for a minute. Hi, Mackenzie.
They're the best. And I think what Marcus said is true, is they have a clear vision of how they want to do this show. And I think it's the right show for this location right now. Like just what they're choosing to emphasize and to play up with this particular script. You could do this show in a very different way than they're doing, and they're doing it in a really sensitive way. I think if you've seen Pride and Prejudice before, you'll get something new, and if you haven't, you're going to love it.
At least familiar with the general.
Yes.
Deal.
Yeah.
When you're not on stage doing that, what do you do? I mean, what is this? Is this what you do, or what do you do?
I moved to Wenatchee about a year ago. I'm a nonprofit consultant for my day job.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm a recent graduate of Central Washington University.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's okay.
That means you worked with Mackenzie,
I
right?
did actually work with
teaches down
Mackenzie.
there,
She was my professor for 4 years.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful to work with her again on this. It's been really cool. But I just graduated, and so I'm here right now working on shows, and I work for Miley Ty.
Okay. So are you guys going to continue with this something you guys want to do until they kick you off stage? Could you see yourself doing music theater Wenatchee productions, say in 20 years, that kind of stuff?
I'm doing a music theater Wenatchee production in January. I'm in an inspector calls. So yes.
Okay. So obviously putting, the fact that you were in Shrek the Musical really helped
Full
your
circle,
career.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It really brushes your resume. What about you? You is theater in your blood?
Oh, theater's very much in the blood and everything. I actually just got off of the last 5 years with Music Theater of Wenatchee, which was an incredible experience to work on. And we'll see what brings next.
What's going on? I've asked everybody. I've interviewed Stage Kids, Washington. They got their musical going on. Yeah. I've interviewed Paul Atwood, who's of course been working with the Wenatchee High School Theater folks for years for the All District Musical and the High School Musical and Riverside Playhouse and everything. Why is there an abundance of theater talent in North Central Washington? What's going on? Is it in the water? Are we drinking? What is it?
I don't know.
Why is there so much good talent in a not particularly big area, and yet the theater world thrives here? What's going on?
I don't know, but as a newcomer, I am having a ball, and I'm so happy that is the case. It is really special, I think, and not what I expected moving here.
Yeah, well, I think so much of art is connecting to community. That is why people always come back to stories such as Pride and Prejudice, because that story has been around for how long? Like over 150 years. But why do people always reread the story, always redo it? Like, there are always so many remakes to other stories. I mean, we're seeing that a lot today, but that's because audiences love storytelling and they want to connect with someone, and that's what art does so well. And I think, the Pacific Northwest in general, you have people from Seattle, Fifth Avenue, Paramount, you have all of those theater companies and people coming here. People love community and team building together.
And of course, great facilities like the America Performing Arts Center downtown Wenatchee, here at the Snowy Owl Theater, at the campus of the Sleeping Lady Resort and the Icicle Center this is a great facility. You get to work with pros like Eric Frank and top flight people. That helps, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it really does.
Very much.
It is Pride and Prejudice. It is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 17th, 18th, and 19th here at the Snowy Owl. And then the next weekend, the 24th, 2 shows on the 25th, including a matinee, and they wrap it up on the 26th. Did we get everything in?
I think so.
Feel great.
Please come see the show.
Yes,
it's going to be a ball.
See the show.
And this is the first live theatrical production they've had a chance to do since COVID-19, so we all get together and enjoy the show.
Absolutely.
All right, it's going to be a great show, and again, if you're not familiar with it, it's the farmer and the cowman. They're struggling, they're having a hard time with it. Poor Judd dies, but in the end...
Oh, that's a spoiler
wait a minute, that's Oklahoma. Damn it, oh well. Thanks for tuning in with us, we appreciate it, and we'll be right back.
At Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater Electronics is the clear choice.
The switch is on to T-Mobile. Get the best 5G experience and the customer service you depend on. Only at Chelan Wireless in downtown Chelan.
All right, before we do the forecast, one more reminder, Eric Granstrom live at Hooked on Toys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to kick off the NCW Community Toy Drive as presented by Les Schwab. So go say hi to Eric and help out the good folks at the NCW Community Toy Drive, which has been going strong, and we're very proud to be a part of it here, by the way, at the NCW Live channel. Eric Granstrom live on location tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. You like yesterday? Just like yesterday, sunny and nice. 43 is a couple of degrees above normal. We hit 47 yesterday. I think we're pretty much done with that. But we're under the influence of a very strong ridge of high pressure, and that means we could see some stagnant air. I think Saturday night into Sunday, we're going to start seeing some patchy fog in the mornings, burning off about 9:30 or 10 each morning, then giving way to sunshine. So you are going to be dealing with low clouds and fog starting Sunday morning and really lasting through the forecast period. But it'll burn off mid to late morning anyway, and then nothing but gooey good sunshine. Do yourself a favor, have a good weekend, and if you're going to buy me a Christmas present, big and expensive. That's the way I like them. See you Monday. Bye-bye.